Please welcome to the podium UNICEF China Ambassador Wang Yuan.
Honorable Excellencies, delegates, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I thank the General Assembly for giving me this opportunity to speak so that we can all pay attention to the right of every child to education. For the girl who grows up in remote rural areas, staying in school and learning can protect her from child marriage, violence, and continual poverty. For the boy who lives in an urban slum, schooling instead of child labor can provide him with the skills needed for a better paying and more fulfilling job as an adult. For children in emergencies, education offers safety, a sense of normalcy, and the knowledge needed to build a more peaceful future. In each of these situations, the solution for children is education. Since the Convention on the Rights of the Child was signed 30 years ago, the world has seen enormous achievements in fulfilling children's rights to an education. Importantly, more countries have been making their educational system inclusive of children with disabilities, removing barriers and addressing discrimination. And since 1989, the number of children out of school worldwide has fallen by over 100 million. In my own country, China, the pace of development for children over the last 30 years has been extraordinary. A dramatic increase in school enrollment, especially for girls, better access to healthcare and public services, improved nutrition. But around the world, too many children are facing barriers to realizing their right to a quality education. Fortunately, all of us in this chamber can read. Millions cannot, which is unfortunate. For more than half of the children living in low and middle income countries, education is still a distant dream. Reading and understanding a simple sentence, it is something impossible. In 2019, 30 years after the Convention of the Rights of the Child was signed, this is something that is totally unacceptable. The world is facing a learning crisis, and it will take a learning revolution to combat it. This crisis represents one of the most significant challenges we have faced as a global community. It is a tragedy for thousands of communities and millions of families around the world whose children will live with long-lasting consequences of a lack of basic knowledge and skills. Not all children are growing up in an environment where their parents and caregivers have the support they need to provide a nurturing environment. Not all children are receiving the same quality of education, and what they are learning often overlooks the importance of social and emotional skills. To address these challenges, we need daring solutions at for all ages of people. We know that early childhood education is one of the best investments we can make to strengthen fundamental learning skills. At the primary level, we need to make a specific effort to reach those who are not getting the support they need. In many countries, these are often the children from rural, remote areas and migrant families. We need to reimagine secondary age education to reach all adolescents, both in and out of school. We must help them develop the skills they will need for work. We need a learning revolution, and we need it right now. As we have heard throughout today, in 2019, it is children who see these new challenges and opportunities most clearly. They are speaking out for their right to education. It is now my privilege to introduce one very special girl who is doing just that, a 15-year-old Nika from Laos. Nika is passionate about education and says she wants to continue her studies to be someone who can contribute to change a person's life. But Nika is already changing other people's lives through her education advocacy by talking to her peers and using her social media media channels, Nika promotes the importance of education, gives tips for those who want to learn new languages, and helps to guide other children through the challenges of school life. Distinguished guests, thank you, and please welcome Nika as she joins us on the stage.